Hi, I'm Gavin Dirom. I'm the President and CEO of the Association for Mineral Exploration BC. We represent approximately 5,000 members here and upwards of 370 corporations as well. What's special about Ame Bc is that we have a number of volunteer committees, and these are made up of experts in the industry. So we'll have drawing from people from backgrounds in environmental science and geoscience and biology and community relations, Aboriginal engagement professionals. And what these people help us do is then create guidance materials and tools to ultimately help not just our industry, but sometimes government and local communities understand our industry, understand the benefits and opportunities that exploration can bring, and the development of the mineral resources to everybody. So for instance, we've just launched the Ame Bc Aboriginal Engagement Guidebook. It's been much sought after, and I think it's actually already sold out, but we're going to be printing more because it's very, very important to engage in British Columbia in terms of First Nations at a very respectful level and a very early stage, and build those relationships so that we're ultimately all successful down the road. I think in terms of sustainability, there's a number of creative things that we're doing at the association, and in fact I would say in very much a leadership way. So for instance, we're just launching our 5th edition of the safety guidelines for Western Canada for mineral explorers, and this is a very important guidance book on a very important issue of health and safety. In fact, our members take this very seriously, and the stats are incredible. So over the last 20 years there's been a huge improvement in safety, in the leadership of our members in safety. Now it's one of the safest industries bar none, which we're very, very proud of. Another area of innovation which I think is very important is geoscience. So here in British Columbia we've created something called Geoscience BC. And again, BC is renowned as having some of the most numerous and most credible expert geoscientists in the world. And they're working together at Geoscience BC to look at high-tech ways of finding a deposit, whether it's using geochemistry or geophysics, and coordinating with the academics that are based here, and furthering that whole scientific basis for our industry in order to make a next discovery that hopefully will then be developed and ultimately constructed and built into a mine. Over the next decade, I see huge opportunities for the industry that's based here in British Columbia. Looking at it from the investor perspective, I'd suggest that what's important is predictability and certainty, and of course a return on that investment. And the companies that are involved in our sector are also looking for those certainties. So what's important is to have a jurisdiction that is stable, that is attracting investment, that has built good relations with First Nations, that has rule of law. These are very important, obviously, to the industry, but I think ultimately to the investors. And then when you marry that up with a very responsible industry, very progressive in health and safety and environmental compliance, so that there is full support for a project going forward. I think when you put all those elements together, the jurisdiction that's doing that succeeds. And in Canada's case, they're the country's attracting the most exploration expenditures across the world. And BC, for instance, is now attracting 20% of Canada's exploration expenditures. So we've been able to garner more of that investment as compared to 10 years ago, and we're looking forward to the next 10 years of doing more. In terms of sustainability, some of the examples are world class, and we can then export that, as it were, to other places of the world, and other countries can benefit and learn from what we're doing here. A case in point, or a really good example, is the Health and Safety Code for and reclamation here in BC. It's been around for many years, but it's always updated regularly, and it includes input from unions, it includes input from industry and from government and from stakeholders, and it's world class, and it's been adopted now in 35 different countries around the world. So these are things that the association's working on in partnership with communities and with government and First Nations to make sure that in the long run the industry is sustainable, given that we all need mineral resources. We all need steel-making coal. These are very important resources, and if you can't grow it, we need to mine it, and we need to do it in a responsible way, in a safe way, and that way we'll be successful.